Okay. Welcome to Red Light Conversations, where we seek truth and we tell it like it is. I'm your host, Angelica Joyce, and with me is...
Sarah.
Hello, Sarah.
Hi. How's it going?
Good. It's great. We, did a little getting to know each other, right?
That was very, very nice.
Yeah, very nice.
Very smooth.
Very smooth. That was really fun. I mean, we've been doing that a lot, but... You know.
For the people.
For the people.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
I hope there are people. People, if there are people, please let us know. At Red Light.
Say something.
Conversationspod@gmail.com. You can send listener stories there. You can send reviews there. You can send questions there. You can send recommendations for topics, movies.
Ooh, I'd love to hear what they would want us to speak about.
Yeah.
That would be really interesting.
We can even do voting on different things, and I very much have been wanting this to be an interactive type podcast for a long time, so we are here to talk, and I am here for ideas, because I have endless amounts, but I do like to talk about not necessarily what's trending, but what people are interested in.
What's on people's minds?
And so we're here to do Red Light's first movie cast.
Yes. Oh, yes.
And would you like to tell the people what movie we're doing?
Yes, I would love to. Barbarian.
So Sarah really likes horror films, I feel
do.
like.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like maybe that's a huge genre that you watch.
Yeah, a lot of the subdivisions within horror as well. So, like any suspense, thrillers, the psych ones, not just one style. I'm open to all.
When do you think you got into horror? Because I got into horror, like, way too late in life. Like, maybe in the last 2 years or so. Where I feel like I actually want to watch horror movies and I'm not a scared little baby like I used to be. Because, listen, I didn't used to watch scary movies because I get scared easy.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What do you get scared of the most? Which ones have you like the paranormal ones, the slashers?
Okay, paranormal ones get me if they involve the devil, cults, anything where something is happening that somebody doesn't know and then finds out in the end, and it probably ends with sacrifice. Like, I'm into. Okay? So I don't know what kind of horror that is.
Okay.
But, like, I'll definitely watch anything with, like, religious dumb shit in it because I'm so interested in the bane of humanity and just, like, I'm just so interested in what makes people turn. And I feel like horror movies are sort of targeted towards a lot of those storylines. And like you said, there are different levels of horror and stuff like that. And I feel like very much we're going to get into it. Because what I'm really excited about is that Sarah is going to get me into a genre that I'm not really that into. And I'm just going to make you watch a bunch of dumb, really happy movies.
Which I have never seen. So also change.
And I think what'll be fun is that Sarah and I will watch a lot of mainstream movies, maybe that you haven't seen that I've seen.
Yeah. That may have just been like a wasted classic. Yeah, that I just like always forgot to watch.
Yeah, probably. We'll probably
get
get into cult classics. I've seen quite a few of them. And big name movies that I've mentioned in passing to you sometimes that you don't know yet, and that excites me.
It kind of like shocks me that I've never thought to watch them, but I procrastinate watching movies.
Yeah, but I'm excited because I think mainstream movies are perfect for you because Sarah does not like to follow the crowd at all. Sarah walks to her very own distinct drum beat that I love a lot, and that's why I want to talk to you about some of those movies because you're going to be 25, right?
24.
24.
Yeah, I'm going to be 24.
This month.
Yes.
Yes. And I'm going to be 30 in April, and I feel like that is enough of an age gap that I feel like an elder millennial. Just because I was born a little bit earlier, and so I feel like I just lived in a different part of time than you, and I'm really excited to see your perspective because we're 6 years apart, and I think it's just enough of a difference that you're going to teach me a lot about people who are younger than me. that I maybe would like to understand. Because I don't know. I really don't know what's going out there sometimes.
Yeah.
You know?
Sometimes I feel lost, though, too. It feels like it just goes by so quick with, like, everything. Like, what's the trend? What's the norm? Ugh.
And I think that's part of why horror movies are sort of, in a weird way, a comfort level for people. Because they depict maybe more real life than most movies in Hollywood. Even though they are extremely exaggerated sometimes.
For sure. But to answer your original question, I don't remember a time that I didn't watch a horror movie.
Interesting.
And a lot of times, it definitely wasn't of my choice.
Okay. Oh.
Like, I wouldn't have picked, like, oh, out of these movies as a 6-year-old, like, I'm going to watch this one. But I did enjoy them. The Saw series.
Okay.
I remember distinctly being, like, the first series-based horror-style films.
Right.
And I think that's why I maybe don't like as gruesome, because I feel like it's very childish.
Yeah.
Very, like, because that's what got me scared as a kid.
Okay.
But now I watch that, no. You need to, like, mess with my mind. You need to have me think about stuff. I realized I didn't think of things to be scared.
I feel like my age group was Final Destination.
Oof.
Movies.
That was my next one.
I distinctly, like, remember growing up on those, and I remember it being a series that is satisfying because it loops. Like, there's 5 movies, and it has a solid ending that's a series that we could review if we want. Because the 5th movie is so good. For me, if you're, like, a real good fan of that, and you just, like,
you hate it or love it.
You hate it or love it. But I think, actually, that's the only Final Destination movie I saw in theaters. And I absolutely loved it.
That one got me terrified of just the everyday life. It just gave me a really unsettling feeling that anything could happen.
Well, and it ties into a part of, like, human behavior that I like, which is time. And how your daily interactions with even the smallest of people completely affect how your life turns out. And I feel like that's a Final Destination kind of thing. Like, you just sort of, like, the smallest decision can change everything in, like that.
You know what I always think of with Final Destination? I tie it with The Matrix, where she's I forget what her name is, but the woman's like, would you have knocked the vase over if you didn't know, if I didn't say anything? So, like, if they didn't have those premonitions, would it really have all still happened? Or was their involvement the reason that it happened?
Right. It is the vision presenting itself the reason that it happened.
Yeah.
Interesting. Like, I love it. I love where your head's at, and I love...
I'm sure it's not, but that's just what I always think of.
But still, like... And her name's Trinity, right?
One of the ladies, yeah.
Girl Trinity.
How many have you seen?
Oh, no, I mean, I've seen probably the first 2.
Okay.
Maybe the 3rd one, and then the most recent one, Resurrections, I definitely saw.
I have not seen those.
The first one can do no wrong for me. Don't care. Love it. Second one, hate it. Third one, probably didn't watch it because I hated the second one so much. And then I was like, all right, I'll watch a remake. And then I did. And
that's crazy.
I kind of enjoyed it, and I kind of hated it.
You should watch through them. It's worth it, feel.
But, I don't really have a background in horror because I just I don't care. Like, I didn't care for that sort of... That's not the stuff that comforts me. And my kind of horror is more emotional. But it, like, definitely more emotional. I really want to feel something when I watch TV. And so the movie that we're about to talk about really makes me feel stuff. Like,
yeah, a lot. Of things.
It's so wild.
Yeah.
Barbarian, Sarah.
Barbarian.
How many times have you seen it now?
About 4 times.
4.
And not necessarily because I needed to watch it 4 times.
Yeah.
I think, honestly, the message the first time stuck.
100%.
It really wasn't a needed watch through again. It's
just, I wanted to watch it again.
I needed to show so many people, and I wanted to watch it with them to see their reaction, that I had to watch it.
I agree with you. And that's how I know that, like, I'm entering into a new part of my life, because I'm wanting to watch these movies. Mm-hmm. I watched Hereditary first, and I watched it with you.
Oh, you did? That's right. That's right.
And then I watched Barbarian with you, and I immediately told you this was better than Hereditary. I think it's better. It gives me a far more satisfying feeling at the end than Hereditary does.
And I think that's like Hereditary was a horror movie as an afterthought. It wasn't necessarily.
Yeah, because you can see how almost forced it is, but the way he at least like if A24 was like, you got to put supernatural in it, I accept the way that he did it.
I think they did it well.
Yes,
I do.
You telling me that it's an afterthought, like literally, like it wasn't supposed to be any type of supernatural. It was literally just supposed to be a drama. Then he describes it as two distinct parts of a film, and I see it, and I understand why now.
You see when it turns into horror.
100%. Like, and I wrote in my notes somewhere that I was like, oh, this is the second, you're moving into the second part of this movie. So it was wild. So Hereditary's fine, but this shit, Barbarian. I'm here for Barbarian. Oh. So here's where we're gonna start.
Okay.
If you could commit any crime and get away with it, what would you choose and why?
Ooh, it's like any heck. Oh, give me a second.
Vandalism.
I would love to just destroy shit.
Okay, so then you can come with me, because what I want to commit is to I want to go just ham and get everything that I would ever need for my business, but just steal it.
Okay, so I'll break all the things for you.
Yeah!
And then you grab the things.
Yes!
And you didn't technically break in because you just saw an open area. And then I wasn't breaking in because I was just busting stuff.
Yes, so this works out, and it was so dumb because I really was thinking about it, and I was like, "Don't say a stupid answer." And I was like, "It's gonna be a stupid answer anyways," because really, truly, like, there's so many things that I want to do that have so many expensive tools that I need. If I had no conscience and I just could get away with it, I would just steal every piece of machinery that I need. So it works out that you just want to like break stuff. Well, and because I had this weird thought, because I always have weird thoughts, where I was like, I bet there are so many people out in the world that there's probably at least one person that has every piece of equipment that I want, and all this money, but bought all those things to fill a deep hole that they have. Sorry. Not to bum anybody out, but they probably are missing something in their lives, right? So they're trying to fill it with stuff. Vandalism. So Barbarian. Is it a barbarian?
Oof. I feel like we should get on. I feel like I want to get onto that a little later.
Yeah, we'll get onto that a little later, but I think that's the initial question. Is it a barbarian?
Oof. Heavy.
This movie, Barbarian, came out in 2022. The director is Zach Krager, and this is his directorial and writing debut. So this is his full first-length film, which weirdly mirrors the fact that Hereditary writer and director, also, it is his debut film. And this is about a mom, and that's about a mom. And this movie and that movie both have two distinctive, like, halves. Like, there is a switching point.
Yes.
And
I love the passionate energy with that.
It is. One's 2018, one is 2022. That's what, like 4 years difference? And Barbarian did it better. Production company is 20th Century Fox, so probably they have a little bit more money. So it's a budget of $4.5 million, which is not that big considering this is a 2022 film, and its box office was $45.5h million, which is pretty big freaking profit. I mean, that's like 40 mil, like just in profit. And so that's pretty good, and it's a running time of 102 minutes. Pretty like perfect length movie. It doesn't feel too long at all, and it's just like,
maybe that's why they classify it as like a thriller, because it's like it's not as like slow burned out as maybe a psychological suspense.
It does feel constant. Like there are a little bit like maybe baby moments where you can take a breath, but it does like feel like the story is constantly moving. So I think this is kind of a perfect time to. Do you want to kind of try and give us a plot? What happens in this movie, Sarah?
Ooh, all right. So I love that it breaks it down into hard transitions. The first one is where this girl, Tess, rented an Airbnb in a little city in Detroit, a little town in Detroit.
Michigan.
And she stumbles upon a man already in there, which is Bill Skarsgård.
Like renting oh, God. And yes. Keep going.
So that already just...
Bill Skarsgård.
That already sets an eerie tone, right?
Yeah.
Because his first big name movie premiere is him playing Pennywise in It. Also really good performance.
He's really good as the mislead.
Very much so. Every time I watched it, all 4 times, I noticed more and more of how just he was the nice guy, but like he was almost too nice at points to where it still felt really... Even when she let her guard down, I did not let my guard down.
I took some really good notes about those scenes. That's probably my favorite sequence of the movie, is the first part. Yeah. Because I really enjoy the way Bill chooses to do literally every piece of acting that he does. Like,
even how he, like, looks at her doesn't look right at certain scenes, and it really makes me suspicious.
Which is cool because, so I was reading up about this, and if you want to know, most of my stuff's from Wikipedia. It's really, you can just go find it really easy. So it said Zach Cregger was inspired by the nonfiction book The Gift of Fear, which we talked about. I have the audiobook.
Yes, we did. Yeah.
And basically it's just a book about how your instincts are like a gift, and like fear is like a gift, and how we should try and figure out what that means, you know? Like, what is fear? What does it do for us? Like, why is it such a huge part of our lives, right? And, like, also, fear sort of controls some people, right? Yeah. Fear itself, just fear is, like, not a great...
But we also crave fear by watching these movies.
A little bit, because we want to, like, we crave being understood. And I feel like some of these movies do that. Okay, so he read this nonfiction book, right? And he cited a section that encourages women to trust their intuition and not ignore the subconscious red flags that arise in their day-to-day interactions with men. He sat down to write a single 30-page scene that would incorporate as many of these red flags as possible. Cregger settled on a woman showing up to an Airbnb late at night only to find that it had been double booked as the ideal set for this exercise. He stuck to the rule that if he was surprising himself with his writing, then he has to be surprising his audience. As long as I have no long plan, then no one could know what's coming.
Improv. I love that.
Yeah. Pretty sick, right? But it says that he became frustrated during the writing process, fearing the direction of the story was too predictable. So, Cregger, with no forethought, decided to introduce a twist that would flip the scene on its head. He said, I just wanted to write a fun scene for myself, and it ended up being something that hooked me, and I didn't know where it was going, and then it turned into a feature film. Wow. So, he wasn't really intending to, like, write anything. He just sort of, like, read a book, and he was like, this is, like, inspiring to me. And I like that. So basically, when I took my notes, that first scene with Bill Skarsgård, when we really get into it, I wrote down what I thought the red flags were when we get into it.
All right.
Yeah, when we start the breakdown. So yeah. But basically, just the rest of a quick, like, rundown of this movie. This girl, like, it's trapped.
Yeah. Trapped in the tunnels.
In this like, there is a hidden tunnel so she shows up to an Airbnb. There's already a guy renting it. They sort of swap information and see that they both did rent it. And then and then at one point she, like, goes into this basement.
Yeah, she just went down for toilet paper.
Just for toilet paper, bro. Yeah. And so she gets stuck in there. Finds what is obviously a torture dungeon, right?
Yeah. First thought. I mean, any thought points to not good.
So then she, like, gets out because that dude comes back.
Yep.
And then turns out that there's something down there. And then they introduce
Justin Long. What is his character's name?
AJ. So they introduced AJ, who's the owner of the house. And he is going... We're going to get into...
They didn't say that right away.
No, which is great. And then we, like, basically get into the fact, like, something happens and then he has to sell the house. I didn't write it... I didn't put it in there, but he did write that he sort of named it Barbarian. And then, like, always intended to change the name. And then he's like, the more and more I wrote it, the more and more it just sort of really fit.
I love that he didn't have a long plan going through.
It's really interesting. This movie, the first shot is of the house. And it's lit up, like, at night.
Yep.
And it, like, is just, like, surrounded by darkness.
Yeah.
And I thought it was very interesting because when we do our Hereditary breakdown, Hereditary opens up on the treehouse.
Yes, it does.
So these movies' initial shots are on the central story that happens here. Like, where we start, we also sort of end. Mm-hmm. Which is really awesome, and that's what I love about Barbarian. So she gets there. Mm-hmm. There's a fucking guy in there. Sarah! Like, how would you even... And then, like, oh, man, my favorite part of that opening scene is when she gets out of the car and she looks around the street and she notices, because she pulls up in her car or whatever, and it's, like, raining, right? It's raining?
Yep, it's raining. All of the circumstances
are just, like...
are against her.
Like, from the beginning. Mm-hmm. And she gets out of the car and looks, and the house that she's at is literally the only light on the street.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Hard to get an idea of what's around you with no lighting, nothing at all.
Seems pretty convenient considering she's, like, checking in at night. Because you have to think, like, who originally listed the house? The original owner, or is it Justin Long, the owner?
What do you mean? I think, like, there's a management company.
Right, there's a management company, but I just wonder what... Before that, like, if there was...
Oh, before that?
Yeah, like, if that's why there's a history of already renting, you know?
Maybe.
I don't know. Eventually, he probably had to get creative to get women to get there.
Yeah.
Just speculation, but I bet he, like, put some kind of ad in the paper, and then when he got too old, sold the house, and then it just sort of kept going.
Or, like, maybe his caretakers. If he hired any caretakers.
Yeah, maybe. They took care of, like... I don't know. I just think that's interesting. Like, there had to have been listings before that.
I mean, maybe not, though, because it was generational times that he, like, just kept raping the women. So, like, he only needed to keep having one woman.
I love that she, like, chooses to go in the house when she realizes he's there.
I don't know what made her feel like that was a good idea.
What made her trust him? I mean, it's crazy because I feel like you see every time she hesitates, and she still does it. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. I feel like she does that a lot. She just goes into that house.
Because she knows, like, her body's like, no, this isn't the right answer. But she decided to go anyway.
I don't know, and then she, like, she does need a place to stay. Obviously, like, she's there for a reason.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really enjoy Bill Skarsgård in this scene. Mm-hmm. Because he very much is, like... I feel like he's trying to be so accommodating, but, like, he's so creepy about it.
It's like he feels bad, but he also knows, no matter what he said, he's gonna come off creepy.
The sort of vibe here is that he's sort of trying to give off that, do you know what incel is?
Enlighten me.
Okay, so, like, there's that term out there where there's, like, a subset of men who believe that it's women's fault that they are not attractive. And so they have a level of desperation of, like, overcompensation.
Oh, I see.
Right? Like, it's sort of like a hate, love-hate relationship.
Yeah, with, like a secret resentment.
Yeah, like a resentment, but they're sort of open about it.
Okay.
And I feel like that's what they're sort of trying to shoehorn in here, is that sort of stereotype, because he pushes the wine more than once, and that's a little...
He also pushed the tea more than once. It wasn't just the alcohol, but he really wanted her to just drink something, and that was definitely, like, a really big ick for me.
Because, I was going to try and keep track of red flags, so I think the first red flag was the fact that she was the only light on the street. And then second red flag is that, they start to compare the address and phone numbers, but she starts to say it, and he starts to say it, but doesn't finish it. He could just say that.
Mm-hmm. Even if it actually was the same number.
Exactly. Like, you don't know. Because for in the beginning, I was thinking that maybe, like, he owned the Airbnb, and he was the one that set it up, which is why he had the information, right?
That's exactly what I thought.
And then he keeps coming back and, like, telling her stuff, like, he tells about the convention, how that implies that she's probably not going to get a hotel anywhere else,
Make
right?
her more desperate.
Oh my god.
He gets her stuff for her.
He gets her stuff for her.
And tries to put it in the room.
Well, because he insists on her taking the room. Because he's like, that's not how I was raised. And I was like, that's kind of pushy. And then she, like, has to kind of be like, well, I have a thing about like used sheets, and then he like fucking washes the sheets, and you're just
but is that just being like super really nice and accommodating?
I don't know, Sarah. I don't know, because it's Bill Skarsgård. You're immediately suspicious of Keith, and you're supposed to be. And then, you know, because then I think the third red flag for me is the ominous tea sitting on the edge of the counter that could obviously be poisoned or drugged, because they totally special shot it. They want you to think about the tea.
Yep.
And, you know, he just does such a good job of trying to, like, help her, but, like, his kindness is, like, creepy and desperate. And it just, like, is so, it just shines so through.
It does. But at what point does her guard just become let down?
I don't know, because I wrote down his ramble.
Of the jazz movie, like, documentary?
Well, so that comes after, but the first part of that conversation is where I didn't want to open this wine without you present. He leads with, I know that it insinuates sort of a level of, like, control that you can't have, which I think is, like, really healthy. If Keith is, like, cool, great job,
like,
my dude.
you did exactly everything that you were supposed to do to make me feel safe.
Yeah, but I don't feel safe.
He is, like, 6'3", 6'4".
Hulking.
He is so tall.
And, okay, listen, I'm sure that you just, like, you're used to Bill Skarsgård, but my first introduction to the Skarsgård family was Alexander Skarsgård from True Blood. He is also a hulking piece of thing. They are just terrible, well, because they're... I don't want to say and be wrong. They're definitely one of the tall, white, like, Swedish or...
Just look it up real quick.
Yeah, you could do that. I don't know, he does a lot of Viking stuff. He did that movie, The Northman?
Please hold. He is Swedish, you got it right.
I was right. Okay,
Yeah,
I was right.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
I was right. Okay, so they're Swedish, and they're like, so I love them both. I think they're great. They creep me out. They make me feel scared, but I love them, and he's doing great, man. And I think that's why. I think that, and then the coincidence of you brought it up.
Oh, which point?
Oh my God, he brings up the fact that he's seen that documentary or the movie about the, like you said, the jazz, because she says she's in town for, like, they start trading stories on why they're in town. Oh, I'm here for a job interview for this movie producer. She did this jazz movie that nobody's heard of, and he's like, I've seen that. And she's like, no, you haven't. And he, like, describes it to her, and then he tells her about something like...
He is one of the owners of...
It's called the Lion Tamers.
The Lion Tamers.
So...
Is that when she lets her guard down? Because she feels like she kind of knows him?
Yeah, and he might as well be a legitimate stalker. He's, like, hitting so many of her weird points.
I mean, she drank the wine.
She did.
She eventually drank after that conversation.
Because she does. She drinks the wine, and then they have a nice, deep dialogue, and they have a good time.
Her body language is even so relaxed and not on edge at all. And
then he goes and puts the cover on the duvet, and he puts that thing over his whole body, and she's just, like, giggling away and all this other stuff, and, like, they had, like,
she was a little smitten.
I think so. Until she woke up in the middle of the night, and the motherfucker was having nightmares and saying weird stuff in his... Help. Sarah, he said, help.
Did he?
Help. He says, help me. Help. When Sarah and I are at work and we're trying to find each other, I just yell, help.
Help.
And then she yells it back, and then we find each other, and it works. And it makes us laugh also.
But also, I feel like she connected with him when she was like, why are girls always the ones that have to get their heart broken? And he says, girls can scar. Trust me. Connection to trauma bonding.
I don't know. So they, like, get cozy, which is kind of weird. But then she wakes up and her door's open.
Yeah.
And he's having nightmares, and they kind of have a weird, awkward dialogue, and then they go back to sleep.
Very odd interaction.
Yeah. Then the next morning, she wakes up and gets ready and goes outside, and finally actually gets a look at the neighborhood. And that is red flag number 4, Sarah. Because she finally sees the neighborhood.
That was the only house that was still standing, pretty much.
It was the only house that looked like a house. Everything else just looked like a desolate wasteland, like it had just gone to shit.
And as she was driving, it just kept going like that. So it wasn't even just like that little block. It was all of them in that community.
It was deep. Like, deep in just a... Humans used to live there, Sarah.
It used to be
filled with people, and then it just... Okay, so then she goes to the interview, and then they're leaving. She's like, oh, hey, where are you staying in town? She tells her where, and she says, what? She basically... Fifth red flag. A local tells you tell them what neighborhood you're in. They tell you to move, and you try and justify to yourself what's happening, and she goes back anyways. Mm-hmm. Red flag number 5. So she chooses to go back, and then this is the first time that we meet Andre, which is probably a neighborhood vagrant, and we're meant to think that, because he goes yelling, he doesn't give any context. Mm-mm. He just runs at her at full force, yelling, says, come here, little girl. Oh, gross. And he says, come out of that house.
Yeah.
But he doesn't say, like, why? There's a monster in there. I'm sorry. If a dude was running full force at me, telling me to come out and call me a little girl, I'd be running in the fucking house, too.
Yep. Mm-mm. Would I have ran back in my car and just left? Oh, all of her stuff might be there.
That's the problem. Like, I kept thinking about that. You just abandon your entire life and start over. 6th red flag, though. Somebody really does come after her and tries to get her out of that house.
Yeah, at least for the neighborhood.
That's not safe. Mm-hmm. And then it goes into... She gets locked in the basement.
Yeah, so she decided she was going to leave anyway because of that incident. So she was going to leave, but she had to go to the bathroom and just change the toilet paper, which was only located in the basement, which has never been seen to us before. We only got a living room kind of kitchen and then bedroom.
Yes, like we didn't even know that there was a basement until she has to go. And that was the thing I mentioned earlier when she does first get there. They show her peeing in these movies, which is like a weird niche part of film.
Not like showing.
No, but just like she's going to the bathroom.
Yes.
Because, like, that's just not something that normally happens. That's why I always liked Big Bang Theory, the TV show, because they always show them eating dinner together. Always. Because people always eat. You eat every freaking day, and they're always eating on that show. And so it's just like a weird quirk that I just love. It's so weird. It's so weird to say that I love it, but I'm glad that there's, like, realistic stuff like that in it.
Little details.
Yes. And then, also, she tries to call the cops, and nobody comes. That's another red flag. Yep. That's like 7 and 8. We're up to 8 red flags, and this girl hasn't left yet, and then she gets stuck in the basement. Yep. And then she finds that rope that looks like it's been paper mache'd back together that leads to what I'm going to go ahead and call like a kill torture room. It is get out of there, Tess. Her name is Tess, by the way. I don't know if we've said that so far, but...
Yeah, so far we got Keith and Tess. So first off, she pulls the rope, right?
Yeah.
And a door just swings open out of nowhere, which leads to a very ominous feeling, just dark tunnel.
Yes.
You don't know where it is, like how far it's going down. There's no lights at all.
At all. And then it leads to a second door. I almost shit my pants the first time I saw her finally walked out. And the mirror trick of shining light in there, pretty clever.
Yeah. So to finally, like, actually go down and see what was in there, she propped a little tall mirror boy on top of a little couple piles of trash.
Yeah.
And then
put a flashlight or something. Was it a flashlight?
That was later. Yeah. First time she only had the light in the basement.
Okay.
Reflecting off of the mirror. And that showed a little doorknob. And that's the ominous little torture room.
And then there's, like, that other door, and that's where she gets creeped out when she realizes it just goes and goes and goes.
Yeah, but that's still after Keith comes in. She only sees the first room. And she's videotape, mattress, bucket, bloody handprint. We need to leave
And then Keith does show up and knocks out the window. Right.
He does.
Oh, okay.
Well, she gives him the keys through the window, and he opens the door. That is where we're in danger.
He gets her out of the basement. She gets out of there, tells him what's going on, and he just doesn't believe her.
Still giving the very, is he the one kind of feel, too. Because she only found the room, and he is still very creepy in taking the news.
I feel like it feels like he does try and gaslight her just a little bit. Because he's like, oh, I didn't see what you saw. You're telling me, oh, it's a bucket, it's a camera, it's just a room, like, you don't know. And then he guilts her into being, will you just stay here in case I get locked down there? And that is just like...
Put a chair at the door, my guy.
Yeah, and then just run out. Like, why does she have to be the one to stay? Mm-hmm. And...
It made me feel as though he was gonna be like, oh, you found my room? You found my camera?
Yeah. But then she goes down there and doesn't find him at all.
When she doesn't find him at all, bro. Oh my god. I kept thinking, he's gonna trap her in that room now.
I thought maybe he would, like, pretended to go down there and then, like, was gonna shut the door somehow or something. Mm-hmm. But then she finds the other door. And give the girl some credit. She walks down there.
I would not have.
I don't
know this man.
I don't either. And I just don't know that I would go down there, Sarah. Mm-mm. That is crazy.
With just her phone as the flashlight.
Oh, dude.
We all know how dim the flashlights can be with phones. So, not the best.
And then she finds him. Mm-hmm. So, like, she gets far enough in because he's yelling help. They find each other. Mm-hmm. Something comes out of somewhere and takes him and just bashes his brains into the wall.
Mind you, for the second time in a row, Tess tells Keith, you need to go this way. For the second time, he's ignored her and listened to his own
And in that scene, which is crazy, which I didn't realize until I watched the second time, he gets his brains bashed out, but, like, as he's saying, we have to go back there, there's somebody back there. And I think we're supposed to assume that it's the creature, but I think he found the dude. That's eventually we'll get there, but I think
he said someone bit me.
I know, but I think, I don't know. Me. It just the way that it came out, it made me think that. Maybe I'm wrong.
Or but there's more than one of them down there.
I just thought that maybe he meant Frank. But maybe not.
I never thought that.
Because sometimes he's like, we have to go back there and get somebody out. But then I think, like, maybe he did get bit in the process of finding Frank. I don't know.
It's really dark in there. Maybe he just got disoriented and where, like, out is.
I don't know.
And he just didn't want to listen to Tess again. For the second time. He didn't want to listen to her.
Then she falls into, like, a hole. Doesn't she fall into a hole? Or no, it just cuts away.
After Keith gets his head bashed.
Yeah.
Cuts.
It cuts. And then I guess this is what I would probably call the second act of the movie.
Second act.
Because it goes straight to freaking, like, we pan up on freaking Justin Long singing his little heart out and getting accused of rape. Okay. Right. just segue right on into holy shit. And Justin Long, who just feels like a sweet baby person to me and just is so good at playing a piece of shit.
He really is.
Movie. Ooh. You asked me earlier what his name was, and his name's AJ. And let me tell you something. As soon as they said his name, it made me want to vomit a little bit. Because my name's Angelica Joyce. I'm sorry, I hit my microphone. And for a long time, I tried to make AJ happen because I was really interested in the fact that women back in the day used to put initials in front of their last names so that people couldn't know that they weren't men, so that they could sell their literature better. And so it was like trying to be genderless name, and that was always really attractive to me as a kid. And then he said that and I was like, I hate this. I don't ever want to be associated with this
never again
ever again. I love how, I don't know if I love is the right word, that sounds like a terrible, I just thoroughly enjoy the way they write. It's as if getting accused of rape is not the problem. He's worried about the fact that he has lost a job, and definitely that's what's most important to him. He does what most abusers do, like right from the beginning when he finds out that he's being accused, he goes straight to degrading her, calling her a bitch, and just the language he uses, like, I'm gonna ruin that, effing B,
she's lying.
Like, she's lying, like, how dare she? His face when they tell him,
oh, yeah.
Sarah, is, like, so indicative of, like, the nature of rape, I think. Like, in his brain, he's like, wait, what? But I as we'll further get into it, he did it. I think, definitely.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
What do you think about that choice?
Which choice?
That, making him an accused rapist.
Considering
where we're gonna go in the beginning of this, or at the end of this story.
Do you mean for Justin Long to play?
Yeah, it's an interesting choice.
I think it's a good choice. Because they chose the nice guy, Bill Skarsgård, to be Bill Skarsgård, where you already have this perceived little...
It's almost...
He's a weird, creepy man. Yeah. But as you just said, like, you understand him as, like, a little sweet boy. So... It's
almost as if they should have played...
opposite roles. And it would have made sense in our minds more.
But because it isn't... Mm-hmm. That's why I'm going to remember this movie. Yeah. For the rest of my life. Mm-hmm. Like, 100%.
Because he does... Like, Justin Long definitely does... Even in horror movies, he's always, like, not the villain. He's always the victim.
Yeah. I mean, like, a main one, Jeepers Creepers, totally...
Always comes to my mind. Yep.
I mean, spoiler. His fucking eyes are missing at the end. Like, I will never forget.
Connection. We'll get into that later.
But yeah, but like, so you're right. Yeah, it's very unsettling to see Justin Long playing this character. But you're right. I
think that's what makes it work.
100%, because it's not a predictable character for him, and I love it. I think it's, you know, because now he's like, so then we sidelong to him, like, now he's got to like sell some shit in order to pay for his lawyer fees because he's getting sued.
Yes, he is.
And leaves the state because it turns out he's got, like, property in Michigan. He definitely tries to pull the, if I could just, like, talk to her bullshit. Like, he talks to, like, and I guess he's talking to his lawyer at some point after he realizes that he has to go sell his property and stuff like that, which in that, you know, he is talking about her very derogatory again the whole time. Just
he never says anything nice.
No, and he never takes any accountability for his behavior.
And he's never just like, I would never do anything like that.
No, he constantly leans into making her the bad person. Because, like, really, we know that that sort of is just a ploy, so he can probably try to intimidate her, maybe not into following through, or, like, what are you going to say? What are you going to say to somebody who accuses you of rape? I mean, honestly, truly.
I didn't know that you didn't want to.
What do you mean you didn't know? No is no. Consent is key. It was really thoroughly, it felt like cathartic that I was really glad to realize that the house is his. As soon as I realized it was his house, I was like, he's going to die.
Yeah, or at least our hopes, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I really did.
Bad things happen.
Yes. And so it seems almost fitting that he is the person who has probably unknowingly purchased this land, you know?
Yep. And I want to note that anytime he's talking to a woman, he's pretty harsh. Even his own mother, like when he's like brushing his teeth and getting ready to go out with his boys, she's just like trying to be really supportive, and he really does not want to hear it. Not care about her opinion. I think it's interesting because, like you said, he is talking to women in a certain way, because first we talk to the person who runs his Airbnb. Her name's Bonnie. Took note of that. Oh, yes. It just seems like everything is an inconvenience to AJ. Everything. Every single thing. And when he calls this Bonnie person, you know, Bonnie doesn't know if someone's staying there, let alone the fact that 2 different bookings are staying there. So it seems fitting that since AJ is the owner of this house, it makes sense that there would be double bookings, because he is clearly a piece of shit. And, like, there's no way he would be keeping track of his properties. He would just be keeping track of the money that he's making on his properties. Yeah. So it seems fitting that there are people staying there that he doesn't know, that the lady, like, that lady is like, I don't get paid enough to fucking deal with bullshit pricks like you. And he, like, he's already known as, like, he's a famous man. It's already out. And, like, he talks to her crazy, just like, you know, like, I don't know, Bonnie, like, ugh, like, he just acts like an asshole. No respect. Yeah, because then, like you said, then he's talking to his mom. She's saying her and his father have no idea what to tell people. How do you respond to that? Like, what's happening with their son? Just say she's a lying bitch. And then he talks so much about his career and his reputation. And he's like, I think I'm well within my rights to call her a bitch. Dude, he's dragging this woman and has, like, no regard for her well-being or her mental health, doesn't think about how his actions affected her, and then his mother is placating him, just being an enabler. Yeah, well, we know you'd never do this, and you should come see us, and he obviously clearly has daddy issues. 100%. Because he was like, oh my god, did dad talk about me? Did dad actually say that? Like, that you wanted me to come see him? And then he, like, immediately hangs up. Yep, rushes her off the phone for his boy. And then I kind of thought snidely, I was like, you know, people don't become actors because they're well-adjusted. So, I was like... And then he gets the call from his friend and immediately calls him a derogatory term.
He calls them the F word, which is like a derogatory term for homosexual people. How rude of you. I mean, bro, what is wrong with you? How do you feel about that scene, though?
When he's in the bar with them.
Oh, my God.
When I first saw it, I, in my mind, was even as like a viewer, like, maybe he didn't do it, maybe he did. But then the more he acted, the more I was like, obviously, yeah, he definitely did. And when he was just like, I'm a very persistent guy, I said so fast, I was like, so you raped her?
Listen, I wrote down every single word that he said. Because I was so thoroughly disgusted by him in that scene because his friend is like, can we real talk, first of all? I'm just glad that somebody is out here pushing this man to talk about it, first of all, even if it's just this random character whose name we never get, by the way.
We don't even see his face.
Not really. We just see the back of his head, and he's like holding a beer.
Yep.
And Justin Long's response is, dude, I'll be real with you. Let me be real. We fucked. We did fuck. She just took some convincing, though. That's it. Oh, my God. And then says, naturally, his friend says, what the fuck does that mean? Because, like, was she like, did she say no? Was she like, no, stop? And his response is, at first. What? And then he says, this isn't, oh my God, I am sorry I'm getting so worked up. But he says, but I wasn't like, come here, bitch. I'm gonna rape you. What is happening, Sarah? Yeah. Like that, he is so trying to disassociate so hard. Because he's like, in the beginning, she was like, no. And then we started fooling around more. And then she was like really down. I'm a persistent dude, right? I'm like the eye of the tiger. She came around. And that's what happened. Straight up. First of all, it's an insult to Rocky Balboa. How dare you bring up eye of the fucking tiger, you asshole. That's not yours. You're not allowed to have it. Rude. Second, you confess. You did it.
You did it.
You just said it.
You did it.
And then have the audacity, Sarah, to go home and drunken call and apologize to this woman.
I don't know if I offended you, is what he said.
I don't know if I offended you. He said,
and if you want, I'll apologize again.
I'm not even mad about it.
I'm not even
oh my God. I don't know how to behave. I'm not even mad about it. Yeah. I'm not even mad that you said this. Because, bro, it is, I love when a movie takes a real life situation and makes it a real life situation, because this shit is for real. Yeah. The way he calls her and tries to alleviate his own guilt, but also blame her all in the same sentence. I can't even. How? I mean, it's so like, girl, it's good. It's such a good movie. Like, I didn't expect a movie named Barbarian to have such an emotionally mature dialogue going on.
Oh, yeah, which is so important.
So then he, like, wakes up the next day and has to figure out how to sell the house.
Well, yeah, when does he go down into the basement?
That's right here. So he starts to see that there's stuff around the house.
That's right.
Right? He tries to get into Tess' laptop, tries to do all this other stuff, and then he hears a noise in the basement, like a screeching noise. And goes and opens the door and does what every dumb motherfucker does and yells, I have a gun. It's such a cliche move, Sarah.
I think that is what showed that he had no instincts.
Because then he goes into the kitchen and gets a knife.
Paring knife.
And then yells, all right, bitch, get ready to get fucked. Bad choice of words, AJ. Bad choice of words. You're already in a situation, and your first instinct is to say some shit.
That is a bad instinct.
It is a bad sentence, really a bad sentence. I don't like any of those words together. It's so bad. Then he goes down there, Sarah, and doesn't even bat an eyelash at the fact that he has like a kill torture room in his basement.
What does he do?
He measures it.
He measures it. For value.
Because he sees it and then goes upstairs and looks up the rules of listing square footage. Yeah. And then he starts measuring everything.
Yep. And then he finds the next door. Ugh. And then what does he do there?
He just goes and measures that too.
He didn't care about any.
He kept going, oh shit.
So excited.
Just so excited. Enjoying his measuring, moving that bloodstained bed, and like not even
sitting on it.
Oh, ill, realizing, and then just like doesn't even stop to think what's happening, and then he walks in there and hears a noise, and then finds a room with a nursing tape on loop, and
it's the only light that you can really see in the tunnel.
It's got this like kind of, that room kind of has like a pink,
like a nursery style feel,
and kind of like a womb feel.
Yeah,
you know, kind of like a pink, kind of reddish, kind of white lightish, kind of like warm environment in a really weird way, considering what's about to happen. And
but what happens next?
Oh, I mean, he just gets shoved into a hole.
Well, yeah.
And then we find out that Tess is still alive.
Yep. He falls down, he cuts himself in the arm with the knife that he brought, and he is now in a little cage thing in the ground with Jess.
Oh, and then I was thinking about the fact, like, because what happens is, like, the way that he's about to get found out or whatever, like, thrown into that hole, is that something on the other end of his measuring tape lets it loose. And then it does, it reels back in really fast.
Yep.
Which is, like, personally a weird irrational fear of mine. I'm always afraid that I'm going to get cut when I open up a little, So I thought that was, like, a really good, weird, nice touch on, like, I think, a common phobia among people.
Yeah.
Tess is alive. Girl. She is alive. Go, girl. Yeah. She got... And then this sort of brings us in to the third act of this movie, which is our introduction to Frank.
Yeah, but before we get to Frank, let me just note that for the third time, Tess has told a man to do something because she feels this instinct. They have not listened. So the mother, the creature, comes along to that cage and is trying to feed them a bottle. And Tess is like, she just wants you to be her baby. Don't freak out. If you freak out, she will freak out. Be calm. You stay calm. And Tess even drank that milk. Don't know what that is. Don't know how that tasted. But my girl took that with no reaction. She just sucked that shit and was like, yep, I'm good. Thanks, Mom. Yeah. And Justin, AJ, was like, I'm going to freak out.
Yeah.
Which only angered the mother, which then had her force breastfeed him in a fit of rage. And if he would have listened to her, he wouldn't have had to have the breastfeeding done.
Oh, God. That, like, whole breastfeeding scene is just... I already personally just, like, have a fear of having children. So, like, anything that is even remotely close to pregnancy just freaks me out. So the thought of breastfeeding is just, like... I respect, like, women who breastfeed, right? Because I know some people bottle feed. And I just have absolutely no desire to ever do that in my life.
I'm good.
And, like, just watching, I mean... Girl! She... like, the prop department... The makeup department just did the good work because holy crap, never in my life would I get it. I'm telling you right now, Sarah, I'd be a Justin Long. I think you'd be a Tess and you would just fucking do it. I'd die. She'd get pissed off with me. I wouldn't be able to do it.
I think I might be a Tess if it really scared me to it.
Because she just takes it like a fucking pro, man. Like you said, she's like, don't you see? She just wants her to be your baby. And then the mom does that. Oh, God, Sarah does it good. It creeps me out. It's so bad. But the introduction to that, because that scene comes after this.
Oh, does it?
Yeah. Because I wrote in sequence of.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. And so that's why, like, it was really interesting because my second watch since it just made it so much more cohesive for me because we get this, like, weird cutaway scene, like you said, where we got a new character, Frank. And he's, like, an older, real tall, real thin, kind of very crater-faced.
An easy-looking man.
But also kind of, like, weathered. Like, got a little bit
uneasy-looking man.
Oh, uneasy. Yes, uneasy-looking man.
Very uneasy-looking.
Very much gives you that, like... ick factor. Like, fucking ick.
Like, there's something. There's just something.
Yeah, and he's, like, going to the grocery store, I guess, and the radio comes up and tells us that Reagan's president, so it's like 1981 probably, to talk about inheriting the worst economy ever, which is true, in American history. But so, like, we find Frank at this grocery store, and he's buying baby stuff, and he's talking to this sales lady, and says that his wife is pregnant.
He never said his wife.
Not a wife?
He never, I don't believe he ever said wife. He just said baby coming, home birth. He never really said anything about any other specifics, I feel. He's very just, nope, I'm going to do it all by myself.
I mean, he comes in, definitely implies that he's supposed to do a home birth, but implies that he doesn't have a midwife. But I think it's interesting that he says she hasn't given birth yet. Meaning she is going to give birth. And then we go out and we immediately see him watching like a lady.
Yep.
And just like follows her. Ugh, fucking gross. Like, I mean, I immediately put together that he's like a serial killer. Like,
yeah, whatever he's doing is not good.
Yeah, it's not good.
He poses as a some kind of like electric or water
like an
service
electrician
man.
guy coming to, like he basically stops, puts on that utility outfit, goes and knocks on her door, tells her, oh, there's been some outages in the neighborhood, I just need to check. Goes in, washes his hands, opens up the window in the bathroom, implying that he's 100% going to come back later, and then he drives back to his house. He walks in, there's an ominous, like, walking towards the basement, and you realize that there's a lady screaming down there who's probably giving birth currently, and that's Frank. So that kind of lets us know that, okay, that's our he definitely tortured people down there.
Yes, he did. What I think is that he kept getting these women pregnant, and then he wouldn't kill them until those kids were old enough for him to also rape. Ugh. So, like, he had the mother, like, the original first mother, and he raped her, got her pregnant, and then probably kept raping her until the child was old enough for his liking, I guess.
And I think we even, like, I think we get to it, but I'm pretty sure Andre, the vagrant, totally, when he's given sort of the mother's origin story, I'm pretty sure he backs up what you just said.
Just cycles through, like, generations.
Yes, like with the mom, and then with the daughter, and then with the probably granddaughter, and then like so on and so on until
until he needed.
Really freaking gross. So, like you said, there's the bottle scene that pretty much results in her pulling him out of there, and it leaves the hatch open. So Sarah.
Yeah.
Tess gets out of the house.
Yes, she does.
She gets out of the house.
What does she do?
She goes and finds the cops. Well, she goes to a gas station and says, do you have a phone? And then they call the cops, and then the cops call and think she's a junkie. And then what happens?
For the fourth time, the men choose to ignore her.
Oh my God! Like, he tries to tell her, "Don't make me take you to the police station and to sleep this off." She's like, "I'm not a crazy person. I'm not a junkie. I'm telling you that I've been held captive for weeks underground of this house, and there's somebody else down there that needs your help." And then they have shots fired somewhere else in the city, and they just leave.
Sorry.
They took her back to the scene of her abduction abuse situation, left. And what does she do?
Her girl goes back in.
She goes... Oh, my God.
Yep, she goes back in.
It kind of, like, reminds me of the first episode of the Jeffrey Dahmer show.
Yeah.
Because he takes home the guy from the club, and the guy escapes, and goes and finds the cops.
And they took him back.
And they fucking took him back. Like, it sort of feels like that, but at least they got Jeffrey Dahmer. In this, they like, Tess is really just fucked.
What's the girl to do?
Yeah, I don't know. And then meanwhile, AJ has like gotten away from the mom, isn't exploring and is like exploring further, and then like finds another door. She chases him. She like won't go over there.
Yep, she backs up.
Which is just speaks so much of weirdly enough, her psychology. Considering she's such a mutated form of this man, she's still, in her primitive form, recognizes that he's the authority, even though
that's all she's known.
He's desolate.
That's her norm.
Because then when she comes back, the the vagrant guy comes and is like telling her that like she's not even the worst thing in there, because she escapes, right? Like she chases after her, he pulls her out, and he's like not even like she's not the worst thing, which like backs up her fear of that situation. And then Justin Long finds Frank and watches him shoot himself.
But he first watches one of the many tapes that Frank has created, one of these women. Gas Station Redhead, I believe is the tape that he had put in.
Yeah. But yeah, you're right. He finds the tapes and basically starts yelling at this guy that he's a piece of shit.
He does.
Before that, tells him that he's going to have cops like swarming the place and all this kind of stuff.
To help,
right.
Before he saw anything.
Before he sees the tapes. And then moves that dresser, and then Frank shoots himself because he realizes that AJ's about to
expose him.
So he takes like the coward way out, and now we're at the final scene, because I cannot believe she breaks back into that house to get those keys and just waits for her. She just waits for her to come out and then totally rams her with her car. What do you think of that scene? Do you think she plays dead, or do you think she passes out?
I think she probably just passes out.
It's just like the way she stops breathing, really, I think is supposed to be a mislead, probably, obviously, because clearly she is not dead. And I think it's just so wild that he kills himself in front of AJ, because, they're the same. They have the same disregard for how they affect others, and they have the same disregard for human life. And I can't believe AJ shoots Tess.
Yeah, even on accident, but I think that AJ watching the tapes and again furthering himself from that, as though what he did wasn't as bad because look what this guy did, but it's still the same thing. And that's what I liked about how, what's the name of this director?
This is Zach.
I like how Zach didn't show any of the scenes of rape or anything. He only just implied it.
Which is enough. You don't have to see a scene of rape to know that it has affected somebody's life, and you're good. You're right, that's good, because you don't have to completely traumatize somebody to get your point across.
Well, I also like it because it doesn't let us, even in our minds, even if we don't want to, sometimes we'll even justify, we'll be like, oh, well, AJ's probably a little bit better because he wasn't like this monster. But it didn't give us that chance to.
No, it doesn't, because you should get a cathartic release, because he ends up, he takes Tess out of the basement because he shot her. He's got to find her some help. They run into Andre. They go to his place. And then he has that monologue where he's like, I hurt somebody. That matters. And I don't know if I'm a bad person, but I might be. Or maybe I'm a good person who just did a bad thing. I can't change what I've done, but I can try and fix it. And that's what I'm going to do. Fix it. And you call fixing it pushing her off the water tower, my dude? That's fixing it?
That just answered. He's a bad guy.
Oh, yeah. He's such a bad guy. He's like, you are I can get away. And you're the thing. And then he looks at and the mother comes for her.
How is he supposed to know that Tess would survive that?
He wouldn't, because, and he tells the mother to come get your baby, and she sacrifices herself.
Yes, she does.
She is just a mutation, and she cares more about Tess than AJ ever will or could ever comprehend. And then he tries to gaslight her afterwards. Well, I had to do it. You were slipping anyways.
Again, distancing himself from it.
Yeah, totally trying to disassociate. Totally trying to not take responsibility. No accountability. The mother beats him or chokes him to death.
She doesn't choke him to death. That's why I said connection earlier in the podcast.
Okay.
He gets his eyes stabbed out.
Oh,
with her thumbs.
Maybe it's because I can't watch it both times, and you're
and
right.
And then his head gets ripped open like a little melon.
Ugh.
She was so strong.
But she tears him apart. And then...
You know what is weird that I think maybe symbolism, even in just my own head,
is
maybe a connection with see no evil, because he never saw any of the evil things he did, he like always distanced himself from it. So maybe that was just like a ironic way for him to die, is by having his eyes poked out.
Interesting. And Justin Long must be interested in that, because it's not the first, as you can say, with Jeepers Creepers, the first time he's got like an eye thing going on. Mm-hmm. And then Tess shoots her in the face.
But the mother lets her.
You think so?
I feel like what is the mother going to do? She knows that her baby, in a sense, is in pain, and she's very careful with not picking her up and going around her boundary with that. And, I mean, I think she would know what a gun is with Frank probably using it on her, or seeing Frank use it on somebody. So it's not the first time she knows what that does. I think she let Tess do it just to end both of their miseries. Release both of them.
That seems right. And then, end credits. They show her walking away, alive.
Yeah.
And I like the way they cut it in between, like rolling the whole credits.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like that throughout the entire movie, basically, women just were not heard. Because Tess ignored when the very first woman, the interviewer, was like, you shouldn't be there, you should leave.
I mean, yeah, that whole first sequence is full of at least 10 red flag situations.
You don't need to refill toilet paper, you're leaving.
And it's good because it really does speak to, I think, the intent of the director and the writer, that he really wanted to showcase how women instinctually ignore those red flags, and I think he flipped it on its head, and I think it's a great film. I love it. Stars?
I give it 4.5, if not 5 stars, honestly, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm at a 4 out of 5. I don't think it's perfect. There is some stuff in it that I just am like, it's fine, but like 4 out of 5 stars.
Okay.
Most noteworthy?
The mother.
Same. That actor is Matthew Patrick Davis, and in my review, also, hey, I'm on Letterboxd. I do review a lot, but I did talk about how one of my favorite things to think about actors is they have to identify with the material. And this guy was like, yes, that. I want to play that character. Yeah. And I think that's incredible. And just the nature of I will never get over the forced breastfeeding scene. Ever.
For sure, no.
I'll never get over it. I think he is the most noteworthy. Yeah. Okay, most forgettable. Personally, mine is Richard Brake, who plays Frank, the serial killer.
Okay, that's a good one.
I think I just don't like him.
I think Keith is going to be my choice.
Interesting.
Because he left a very unsettling vibe that was never really confirmed if he was a good guy or not. And it stayed with me.
Keith, okay, I see you.
I have a question for you. Who do you think the real Barbarian is?
I mean, the natural answer to that is Frank, because he's the serial killer, but I think the right answer is AJ.
¿Por qué no los dos?
Yeah, or both? Like, why not both? But if I was just going to choose one, like, the real Barbarian here for me is 100% AJ.
Absolutely.
Just because, in a weird way, Frank doesn't get to talk. So we just know he's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
But, like,
he has very few lines.
And by the time you get to him being old, like, he just doesn't speak at all. Whereas AJ talks the whole movie and just is a literal fucking piece of shit. And you just feel that.
Very uncivilized.
Yeah, very uncivilized. Very much the definition of, I'd say, even uncultured. Very animalistic in the sense of he's very interested in the basics of life. Scene stealer.
Ooh.
Mine 100% is Bill Skarsgård's ramble about the wine. It changed my entire perspective on this movie.
Okay.
When he basically is like, I did not open this because I wanted you to see that I opened it. And that, for me, regardless of if he is a bad guy or not, except for me, makes the movie for me. I love it. I love the mislead, because it really... I thought it was him. Because he's trying to make you feel very comfortable.
I think for me, it would be the scene where she's just come up from the basement and she's telling him that they have to leave, and he physically blocks her from leaving until she describes these things. And again, even when she's describing them, in my head I'm like, he's probably like, that's my stuff, you found my stuff, oh no, plan's going a little bit
So we basically had the same. Bill Skarsgård. Bill Skarsgård steals it. He steals it. I agree with you. Scene stealer.
Yeah. Like, the mother had, for me, one of the best performances for acting out things physically and everything. But the dialogue and how Bill Skarsgård delivered that dialogue.
It's so good. It's just so good. It's such beautiful, definitive, well thought out acting. Yeah. The entire family is just oozing talent, my dude. Like, they're just killing it. Like, he's so good. I thoroughly enjoy him as it. I thoroughly enjoy him in anything.
As Pennywise, yeah.
And so, I agree with that. So, Sarah, we did our first movie cast.
We did our first little movie.
Yeah. How you feeling? How was that?
It was nice. I liked it. I'm very excited to talk about Hereditary.
Hereditary is going to be good because I really do think there are a lot of parallels here. And it's such a different story. So,
But what are your thoughts? Comments?
Email us, redlight.conversationspod@gmail.com. Until then. I think this is kind of... Oh, this is my dream. My dream. I literally cannot thank you enough for being here. So, thanks.
Well, thank you.
This is Red Light Conversations, where we see truth and we tell it like it is. I'm Angelica.
I'm Sarah.
And we'll be back with Hereditary.
Peace out.
Bye.